Hello gamers, this is Noobzilla. Time for some more of the Repopulation. I am having to start over here, but that's okay. That happens in alphas and betas and, well, sometimes when the game launches as well. So here we are at the character customization and creation. And it looks like I'm able to zoom in and out a little bit better than last time, so that's good to see. Get all up close and personal. Well, not that personal. Alright, here we go. Name taken or invalid. Let's see if Noobzilla is there. Name is okay. Fantastic. Alright, we have a few different voices here. We have Cocky, Evil, Homely, and Young. Let's check out Cocky.
Bam. Time to get some new guns.
Evil. That's not in yet. Homely.
I will grow stronger to protect everyone.
And Young.
I feel stronger already.
This guy's going to go ahead and go with this voice for Young. Okay, we have two different nations here. We have the Owan and FPR. Owan, one world, one nation. We're the original colonists on Rylden, founding the city of Plymouth. They believe in the unity of man above all else. This belief has been threatened by the FPR and other rogue nations who have split off and cast mankind's survival at risk. Owan will stop at nothing to restore unity. Next we have FPR. The FPR, Free People's Republic, split off from Owan after the disappearance of Obor Daniels, a civil rights leader, and the crackdown on protesters by the Owan peacekeepers. Forced to live in a desolate part of the planet to avoid Owan extermination, they continue their fight for human rights. This guy is going to be FPR, the Free People's Republic, because I'll be fighting for those human rights. Alright. This is the male, and this is the female. Fantastic. But for this, we're going to be going with the male. Alright. Next. Alright, we have some skin tones here. Here's your pasty white. Over here is your kind of like a golden color here. Quite the tan. And this is your I really don't know anybody with that color. That's kind of a interesting look there. And then these are all the different ones in between. Maybe the black will look better without blonde hair. It's probably what's throwing it off. Alright, let's go somewhere in the middle here. How about there? Fantastic. Alright, we have a few options. Base fit, heavy, short, tall, and thin. I'm just going to do this real quickly. I have other character customization videos. If you haven't watched those, those are going to be more in-depth than this one. Alright. One thing that I see is making him thin is changing his height still, so hopefully they fix that. Alright, next. Basic, advanced, random minor, random moderate, major, reset, head options, hair options, beard options, and mustache options. Alright, head 1, head 2. Oh. Alright, let's go ahead and stick. Oh, look at that. I don't think so. My guy's not going to be quite that old. Alright, we have hair options here. There's 2, 3. Next one. 5, 6. Let me come up. You can see the hair a little bit better here. 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, I'm running out of fingers. Can't count past there. He's such a pretty man. How's that look? This is called long style too. I don't think that's really long, but I didn't name it. Okay, beard. We have beard, strap, goatee, chops, and patch. There's the strap. Here's the goatee and chops and patch. This looks nothing like me in real life, but for the sake of this video, let's go ahead and have this here. Mustache. We have trimmed, standard, long, and handlebar. How about let's go with none. Okay, for the beard, you can see the different colors here. Here's red, blue beard. That's interesting. Let's see. What color do I want it? How about that color? We need to do my hair the same color. Where is it? Right around there? Yeah, close enough. Alright, that's the primary color. Secondary color, I guess we can do different as well. I'm just going to do the primary color. Primary color detail, secondary detail color. Alright, I am good with that. And then there is an advanced here for all the different things. Face shape, forehead, cheekbones, cheeks, chin, jaw, eyes, mouth, nose. I went over all those in my other character customization videos, so if you want to look at a more in-depth one, go ahead and check that out now. Alright, I'll hit next. Alright, here are the different options for the armors. I also made videos showing all of these, so let's go ahead and just find a cool one here. Alright, let's do Titan. Alright, Titan for that. See if we can go all Titan besides the helm. That's pretty cool looking. Alright, for the helmet. Alright, there's my guy right there. How cool is that? Those greaves are just a little bit too big. Let's see if I can get something cool that's a little bit smaller. There we go. Composite pants with the Titan top and sleeves. Alright, that's pretty formidable looking. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's add a little bit of color in though. What color am I going to go with? Blues. I think I did red last time. Let's see how red looks. Oh, that's sexy. Yep, definitely sexy. That is cool. Oh, that's awesome. And as you see here, there are for the chest you can do the primary color, secondary, primary detail, and secondary detail. So I want to add a little bit more color here. Why don't we go blue and red? I think that'd be kind of cool. Alright, so here we go. There. Oops, secondary color blue. Oops, primary color red. Alright. There's that. Secondary, oops, primary color is red. Secondary color blue. Alright, there we go. That's pretty cool. Those those pants aren't coming through very well for color. Let's see if I can mess around with that real quick. Oh, there we go. Secondary details really pulling out the color. Everything looks good. The helmet looks a little off. I think that looks better as red. Cool, there I am, right there. Next. That clone is awakened. Vital signs are good. I'm not seeing any causes for concern. And I'm stuck right now, so I'm gonna have to listen to this. Oops. Are you experiencing anything? And my answer is no! Get me out of here. It looks like we have ourselves a healthy clone. You're up, boss. Alright, here we go. Why, hello there. Alright, step to me, please. Let's test those motor skills. He is the integration officer. Alright, let me test these skills. Basic movement. You can walk to the integration officer by using standard WASD movement or the arrow keys. Move forward to the integration officer and then click the right mouse button while it is hovering over top of him. You can then respond to his questions by clicking any of the chat bubble options with the left mouse button. Alright. So I'm going to walk over to him. Hey, where'd you go? Hold on. Oh, there you are. Hello, sir. I'm moving around now, and I must say movement is a little bit better with this patch than the ones before. I'm liking the way that looks. Let's go and pan around. There I am. Looking awesome as ever. Very fluid, comparatively speaking. Alright, right click. I am the integration officer in this facility. It is my job to prepare you for the integration into society. Before we proceed, though, I can answer some of your questions. Alright, I have a question. Dialogues and missions. When a conversation option has a name in parentheses, such as intimidate or diplomatic, it is an indication that a skill roll will be made if you choose this option. Oh, that's interesting. A successful roll can take you to a bonus branch or bonus rewards, but a failed one can often be detrimental. Cool. Where am I? You are in an underground cloning facility on the planet Ryalden. This is the first conversation that you've ever had. That's not true. I have memories. I'm not qualified to fully explain the details behind our memory implants and Judair limiter technology, but there are others here who are better suited to answer your questions. Alright, he says there's others here better suited to answer my questions, but he asked if I have any more questions. Alright, let's see if you give me a non-answer again. I have another question. Alright, I must be dreaming. This is a common reaction, but I can assure you that this is all quite real. The more quickly you can accept that, the better off you will be. I don't like the sound of that. Do I want to try to intimidate this guy? No. Am I free to leave? You are free to leave at any time you wish. You can catch a hop ship outside of the facilities, which will transport you to the city, with no charge to yourself, of course. I would highly recommend that you soak up as much information as you can while you are in this facility, however. I have another question. I'm going to intimidate him, so I am going to hurt you. I would strongly advise against that. This is a military facility. Please be aware that your presence in this world is a result of you providing a DNA sample prior to Earth's destruction. This was your choice. Oh, that's interesting. Can you please just answer my questions? What's your question? Alright, that's cool. Let's get out of here. Let's integrate. Alright, the first thing you're going to need is a PDA. Go ahead and grab the one on the table. And the mission says grab the PDA off the desk near the integration officer by right-clicking to interact with it. This is one of many props in the game which you can interact with. The flashing, blinking red light above the PDA is a mission indicator. These are visual cues to aid you. Let's try that again. These are visual cues to aid you find mission objectives. Alright, little typo there. Alright, fantastic. Let's go to the table. And here we are. You see the little red blinking right above it. That's the visual cue that they're talking about. And as I hover over it, the bottom right of my screen, you can see PDA. Let's do that again. Well, it's not doing it now, but it was saying PDA. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this. Were the instructions clear? Perfectly clear. Did you enjoy this mission? It was fun. How was the reward? Seems spot on. I don't know what it was, but good enough. Submit. Alright, thank you for your feedback. You're welcome. There are many trainers in this facility who can help prepare you for Rylden. Alright. I'm gonna have to go talk to these guys, huh? Hey, there's a guy named Monkey. Okay, mission markers. Mission waypoints, which are out of range of your minimap, will appear as golden arrows on the edges of your minimap. And the minimap's top right-hand corner, as you see. You can mouse over these markers to display a tooltip indicating which mission they pertain to. Some NPCs will instead use an orange radius indicator of the area they were last spotted on the map. Not all missions will display markers. Sometimes you'll need to inquire with NPCs to get directions to an NPC or use the tracking ability. The effectiveness of those abilities are tied to your diplomacy and tracking skills. The remainder of this tutorial is optional, but we recommend you at least complete the firing range and skill imprinting segments in the first 2 corridors. Alright, fantastic. Let's do that. Well, this has been Noobzilla checking out the Repopulation for the second time, which is probably a good thing because I was lost in the sauce the first time around. So I'm going to be doing a series of this, so make sure if you enjoyed this to check back, hit that sub button, hit that like button, and I will be doing some more. I want to thank you all for watching, and happy gaming.